Your father with his disgusting tweaking. I couldn't breastfeed any of you kids because of that man.
Oh,
Wait.
they still look fabulous.
Ahoy, tent pirates, plant parents, conscious consumers, and the morbidly curious. Welcome to Cultivation Conversation, a podcast for growers, by growers. Come chat with our hosts, Captain Autoflower, the Real Green Monster, and myself, Girl Go Grow. Grab a bouquet of your favorite flowers, apparatus of choice, and don't forget the fire while I tell you about the special companies that help keep this ship afloat. We are busy people, and we demand the best for our plants, so all three of us automate our grows with Autopots. Available in over 63 countries, gravity-powered Autopot systems rely on no pumps, no timers, and no power to operate. This plant-driven automated watering is so precise, it will reduce consumption of feed while increasing yield. An effective and efficient way to delegate a little responsibility. Let your plants feed themselves. Use code CC10 at autopot-usa.com. If quality is the name of your game, look no further than AC Infinity. AC Infinity's grow tents, lights, accessories, and ventilation systems offer reliability and affordability along with total environmental control. Use code CULTIVATION on acinfinity.com to save even more. Frass Valley produces the highest quality superworm frass. Naturally strengthen your plants and enhance their resistance to pests and disease. Use code CC10 at frassvalley.com. We are big fans of mass hydroponics. Whether you're a local in Massachusetts or accessing their full online catalog, they are your one-stop shop for all of your growing needs. Use code CC10 at mass-hydro.com.
What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land? How you doing tonight?
Howdy, partner.
Howdy. What's up? How you been, guys?
Well, man, how about you?
Enjoying sweatshirt season.
Uh-oh.
It's
Breaking
beautiful.
up.
Ah, fuck, already? How about now?
Yeah,
How about now?
Did you feed the hamster?
I
We're on the
did.
wheel?
I did. It doesn't seem to be working, huh?
Son of a bitch.
How bad is it?
Well, for the moment, you're good.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. I'm sorry. I really am gonna get a Cat 6 cable. I promise. This is unacceptable. I mean, I could take the laptop downstairs. It wouldn't be, be the best lighting, or you wouldn't be able to see my beautiful lava lamp, but better internet.
Would survive.
I know. Listen,
Great show.
shut up, Johnny. Shut up. You shut up right now. What's going on, Johnny? I can take it, man. Yeah, it's sweatshirt season. It's cold out. Honestly, it's fucking it got down to 40 degrees last night.
I love it.
So cold that I had to go on a late night plant rescue operation. Some of my outdoor specimens, my jade plant, my lemon tree, some of the wife's monsteras and stuff. They all had to come in. Otherwise, they risked certain death. Well, I line them up in the foyer. There's no room for plant quarantine. They stay right in the entryway. And yeah, here's my my sprayer full of Monsters mix, which is, my loving moniker for capsaicin, extract, alcohol. What else is in it? Just a little dish soap.
Yeah. Works good as Banaka too.
A little like breath freshener for a first date. Oh, dude, it's you have to be careful when you use it. You will get a runny nose. You'll start coughing, sniffling.
Yeah.
At the minimum.
Yeah.
At the worst, you'll go into cardiac arrest and have a seizure right there on the floor. So
Side effects may include.
just be careful. Maybe wear a mask when you do it. Mask and goggles. For sure.
And wash your
For
hands and gloves.
Yeah,
Wash your
gloves
hands
for sure.
Immediately afterwards.
Yeah, especially with
Like
the capsaicin.
Dawn. Cut through it.
It does.
You only gotta rub your eye once, and man, you remember exactly how much you touched.
Yeah, you'll remember that one for a while.
Or your junk. Don't rub your junk either. Eyes or junk. Best to wash your hands first. That was like, it wasn't capsaicin. I'm like remembering my middle school prank days. Like someone at some point put like mineral ice or like, what do they call it? Like Bengay. You know what that shit is? Like icy
Menthol.
hot stuff. Yeah,
Just
menthol.
menthol.
Mm-hmm.
But like put it in your jock strap, like in the cup you use for baseball. Like, yeah, someone definitely did that to me. I got Bengayed in the locker room. Wait, that
Shit,
sounds
you
really
Bengay.
bad. That sounds...
Yeah, it's like a verb.
Shit hurt, man. Shit hurt real bad. Real bad. But yeah, what do you guys got tonight? What are you smoking on?
Let's go through puffing on a joint of some prayer glue.
Nice. The Mass Medical
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, it's good. It's it's got that like glue taste to it that I really like. And it's a little bit uplifting. So I enjoy it.
nice. Yeah, I like huffing glue too, man. What kind of glue do you usually like when you huff it?
Dude, I'll take any kind, man. Just huff it all, bro. Total Custy style.
I like that liquid cement shit you
Yeah,
use
man.
when you make like a model submarine.
Yeah.
Liquid cement. I haven't even like.
Oh, that stuff was awesome. We used to fucking do like glue shit to teachers' desks and all sorts of mischief with that. Yeah, it's like one of those things you open up the can, you could smell it like when you come in the next day. Like that's how potent that shit was.
Oh, am I coming through?
Yep, you're back now.
All right, jeez, good lord. Yeah, no, that was it's all coming back to me now. The smell of model airplanes and shit. But I mean, it does like Gorilla Glue does kind of have that, just that like very potent kind of glue smell. Not Elmer's glue, That which is stuff you use in what elementary school. Totally different shit.
Were you a paste eater?
No, I was not. But like, yeah, I knew kids who were. All right, how about you, G3? What you
Double
smoking
smile.
on tonight? Could have guessed. Haven't run out yet.
I actually got a mango smile wet.
Oh, straight up OG mango smile.
Still to this day, I've run a lot for children and did nothing. Back to my love.
I don't blame you. You know, when you find something you like, it's hard to. I mean, the challenge is to find something you like more.
Yeah, I
But-
can relate.
There is no shame in just going back to an old standby, you know?
I can only do without for so long. I mean, honestly.
Oh, I know how that goes. Well, cool. I'm looking forward to watching you grow her again. So in your extensive experience growing Mango Smile and all of her children, what's a couple tips you could give to people out there just who want to run Mango Smile? Like what, if people were just like, yeah, give me a couple pointers. What would you throw at them?
Be a little sensitive tonight. She also happens to be very sensitive to. She's up off the floor. And above at very. She really wants to be. Also, there's a percentage of. Always warned about this, and then everybody's like, well, mine Carl didn't get to be a supermodel. But there is a percentage of this plant. Very, very, very. Let this supermodel, and hitting lights. Prepared to train her or to make sure you have enough room, I guess.
Yes.
Be in all of her glory.
One of those stretchers, as we call them.
It's like
Once
beautiful ballet.
once the flower cycle starts, they just like they go bonkers and start to like the vertical growth just gets insane from really any sativa. I mean, any plant in general, but no, that's cool. That's great experience. I loved how it's like several pointers on the list too of and I imagine they're all like in bold and all caps too. Like G3's basically yelling at you to like, if you're gonna grow Mango Smile, then you better not fuck this up. Like,
Right.
she'll be mad at you if you do.
The plant will be mad at you if you do, and then you won't get to experience. She can be. She's worth it. So just right.
Truth. It's easy. I mean, relatively speaking. Straight to bloom newts was a great suggestion too. We've talked about that before. And the nitrogen that you have like in if you're using any kind of soil.
Yeah, or throw in some extra worm casting
Yeah.
or something.
The nitrogen that you get from that should be able to
Should
get
be
you
fine.
through 3-4 weeks of veg with an auto.
And I mean, she's not going to throw a huge fit like Visto's Wedding or Iced and Baked or anything like that. Throw a temper tantrum. She's just going to be a little grumpy at you. She can handle a lot of abuse.
Nice. Yeah, I agree about the high temperatures too. It's a sativa thing. They like them jungle temps. High temperature and relatively high humidity too. Oh, cool. What's that cat's name? What's up?
Fuckface?
What's up?
Like a,
Cool. Well,
he's an idiot.
he looks like he's having fun back there. Tonight I got a little quicksand cookies, which is an auto from Night Owl. Not sure if it was officially released or not. I got mine as like a tester pack in maybe 2 Halloweens ago, in like the original Bruce Banner Bundaroo, which I'm still working on. Like, you get one Bundaroo, you're kind of set for a long time. But man, this one is super fruity. Like, might be the fruitiest of all the fruity strains I've grown. I've grown Juicy Fruit Haze. I've grown Mango Smile. I've grown,
What's
pick
the
your...
lineage on that?
So it's Blue Microverse and Crinkled Cookies, I believe.
And it's
Super fruity. Like it smells, I mentioned Juicy Fruit Haze, which was smelled a little bit like juicy fruit. Maybe if a juicy piece of juicy fruit gum that had been chewed on for a minute. This is like the straight, this is non-chewed juicy fruit right here. All juicy fruit terps. Not even really sure which fruit I'm getting predominantly. It's kind of just, indiscernible fruit. But really nice. And this is one of my favorite strains for the daytime. And just staying on that even keel, as G3 likes to say. Doesn't get me too baked. Nice body high. A little bit of a cerebral action. Good. Very nice. And no funk to it at all. All fruit. All fruit. Cheers. No cookies at all. Like, none. No. It's fruity.
Make you want to kill yourself?
Nope.
Okay.
Makes me actually very happy. And, it's the taste comes through too. That's one thing everyone who smoked this, their first reaction to it is that it tastes like it smells. Which that's a great quality for your weed to have. This one just super pleasurable all around. Reminds me of makes me think I'm smoking on a tropical island, Very cool. So, yeah. If you bring weed on vacation, I don't know. I usually just manage to pack a couple carts in a carry-on bag. There's Stoney, always chiming in with the chef's perspective. Juicy fruit gum has pineapple and banana terps. I didn't know that. Very tropical mix. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna, with that knowledge, smell my jar.
I haven't tried juicy fruit in ages.
It's a classic gum, dude. One of the best in my opinion. I'm not a big mint fan. I don't know. Just not into all the different flavors of mint. So I like something fruity once in a while. I'm not saying I don't like them. I like a little variety. So I'll get one.
So, true story. A couple of years ago, I bought a big pack of mint gum, and the cashier says to me, he goes, "Mint, no good." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Make pee go like this." And I was like, "What? Never heard of that before." I bought the gum anyway. I was like, "Fuck you, dude."
Just for the listening audience, he's making a motion of flaccidity with his finger as he says that, not the other way. Is that true? I wonder.
I'm not sure.
I can imagine it. If there was anything that was actually strong, any male body part, it would be found out immediately and banned.
I don't know. I think the Viagra sellers would beg to differ.
You think that they're that's a hell of a conspiracy. They're using mint gum to sell Viagra.
I mean, who knows? Who knows anymore? I wouldn't put it past him, G3. Let's just say that. Wouldn't put it past him.
I don't know if I can lose that much faith in you. I'm close, but I don't know if I can get there.
Oh, I'm there.
It shouldn't take long.
Yeah, I'm way past there. But what are we talking about? Just juicy fruit gum. Really, really nice. And I would say, yeah, pineapple-y. Not much banana, I would say, in this the smell of the weed at least, but for sure pineapple. But yeah. Garden wise, I got, let's see, 7 plants in a 5x5. I packed them in there, you know. They're 13 days into flower now. You know, we flipped. They're doing the damn thing. You know what I mean? Like, you want to talk about supermodel phenos, like holy shit. You know, like I think I'll be a little bit, hey, what's up, Mama Wana? I see G3's reaction like that, I always know. It's either you or Barely in the chat. How are you?
Hello, my girls.
No, it's all good. I love seeing you out there too. What's up? But so yeah, supermodel phenos. Like, these things are stretching uncontrollably right now. Like, I mean, we're talking 2-3 inches, maybe even more than that, per day. Like, I'll go in there just after the 12-hour dark period, and I'm like astonished. Like, oh my God, where did this come from? You know? It's good vertical growth. I'm not like, so I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, okay? Because this is what you want to see. Your plants go through, the stretch phase. I love a good tall plant. I like a plant, like a photoperiod, that'll stretch like 2, maybe even 3 times its size when you initiate flower. So like, it's not as if I wasn't expecting this. It's just when you're in the midst of it, it's still impressive to see your plants do that. You're like, wow, I didn't really know they had it in them. But I don't know. So I wanted to kind of talk about some things that we can do as growers to control that phase of our plants, should we want to do such a thing. Now, I'm the kind of guy that I like to let the girls go fucking buck wild. Deal with whatever bridge I have to cross when I get there, you know, whether it's super cropping or maybe we can just start there. What is super cropping?
That bitch over.
Well, I mean, there's different techniques that can all kind of be summarized as super cropping. But I mean, one of them I like to utilize to help mitigate stretches, like pop and twist, along the stem. And that'll definitely help slow down stretch a little bit.
Give it like a pinch and twist.
Yeah, you basically just grab it at 2 points and go at opposite directions, and you'll hear a little crack. And then within a week or so, it'll heal up. You'll see a nice little knot there. So it's also going to help strengthen the plant and help keep that branch upright too.
Pinch and twist.
Yep.
Like when you're trying to...
That doesn't actually change the plant down?
Yeah. It'll definitely help slow down stretch a little bit.
I've considered that before. Yeah, I always just like...
Causes a bruise.
Turn to the inside kind of mushy, make sure the outside act, and then...
What, pinch and twist? Yeah. Like
turn your insides to mush and then you still grew into the ceiling.
Can we call it like a tweak? Tweaking the stems a little bit? A little.
It's like something you
tweak the stems till you hear a little pop.
Tweaker.
Yikes.
You know you did it good. You can do it a little too hard. Like, I mean, you know, I don't know if I've ever done the pinch and twist method, but like, yeah, I mean, when I'm trying to just like, I get to the point where I'm like, oh fuck, these are too tall. That's really when I start to pay attention, and like, I will literally, when I say super crop, I mean like bend the branch over at like a 90-degree angle or more. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's even like bent a little bit downwards by the time I'm done with them. And like, you might think you're being a little too rough with them. And, you know, sometimes I am. Like I have a roll of tape right next to the tent, call it the oh shit tape. And, yeah, I mean, there's been times where I like think a branch is done for and it's like hanging on by a thread. Give it a little tape on there. 24 hours later, it's fine. You know?
They're amazing. Savage injury. Like,
For sure.
absolutely split main stems.
People practice grafting. I mean, that's about as brutal as it can be, right? You're just cutting the branch right off.
Yeah, holy shit. You're right. So I mean, you know, my style of like mitigating the stretch is kind of like lazy. I'll admit, like I let them stretch, I let them get out of control, and then at the very last minute when they're like 5 inches or less from the light, I'm like, yeah, I really should do something and bend them. It's effective, okay? It works. The plants don't stop growing. Those top buds even will still ripen up like you want them to.
Isn't that amazing? Whether you're a proactive or a reactive person, and if this is still the right plant for you.
Yeah, right. I know.
Yeah.
So let's say you're a proactive person, though. Let's say you want to do something during or before the stretch to like dictate how this goes for you. A lot of people say if you keep your nighttime temps relative, like pretty much the same as your daytime temps, that'll slow down the stretch too. I think I've heard Monster say that, right?
Yeah, that's a technique you can use. I don't really often have to invoke that method. Usually what I just do is I have, you know, a trellis net, right? And as the plants are stretching, I just spread them out farther along the net so they're branched out and they're not going to be as tall. That's going to open up the middle of the plant as well and help support it. So I usually don't worry too much about the stretch. You know, the first week and a half or so, I'm kind of just weaving the plant through the netting as it, you know, gets taller.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, so like any kind of training, whether it's a trellis, stakes, even just like LST and what do people use? Those bud benders or just green garden tie. I mean, you can use
That's still
pipe
I mean,
cleaners.
I love bud trainers. Certain plants are really, but man,
Yeah, it's still the best when you go to your local dollar store, like right around April, beginning of May, and you can buy rolls of them for $1 and just buy out the whole fucking store. What I do.
I have
But
to
yeah.
say the bud trainer has yellow ones.
Easy to lose.
Yep, and then I can like I'll forget that it's there, and the plant will try and go through it and like break something,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
it'll be like horribly disfigured in that one area. But the bud trainer ones are bright yellow.
Oh, it's funny. I like had one of those on a plant. You're right, and I forgot about it. And it was on like a main stem, you know. So like I put it on there. I think even before I flipped. And by like the time the plant had done stretching, and like that part of the stem was 3-4 times as wide as it was when I put that little clip on, the fucking branch had grown like into and around the plastic bit, like when you see, like a tree growing through a fence, like in a, you ever see that like in a city, and it's just like, what? How the fuck did that happen? Just
Yeah, we
you
want
put an
training
obstacle in a
tools,
plant's
not
way,
torture
it'll
intervention. It's just
weave itself. It was interesting though, but any kind of like manipulation of the plant, high stress training, low stress training, any training is what we're trying to manipulate the stretch. We're trying to like take advantage of the plant's stretch to like make it grow in a certain pattern, certain final form that you have in your mind. It's certainly a way to control the stretch. That's literally what you're doing. My mind is more on the like environmental cues that you can give to your plant. I've heard people say you can do the nighttime temps similar to daytime, and I've also heard that blue light in your lights, like a 480 nanometer kind of spectrum, is a great thing to have to like give your plants a tighter internodal spacing. So is that part of the stretch when we're talking about like internodal spacing? Is by controlling your stretch, you can control how dense those buds are together, how close the clusters are, right?
To a limit, certain plants are just going to have more spacing than others, just genetics wise.
True. Sativas tend to be the lanky ones, the supermodels. But yeah, let's say you have a particularly stretchy plant, right? Like a sativa leaning phenotype. You're growing a mango smile. Or you're growing like me. I got a bunch of sour diesels. They're stretching like crazy. And I have a light that allows me to put, I can ramp up the blues, I can ramp up the reds independently of each other. I can take out the reds, I could put the whites at like 40% and put the blues at 100%. So my recipe, my light recipe, as you would call it, for like this part of the plant's growth cycle is I'm at 100% blue and 65% whites right now. Not, I'm not trying to like blast them with light yet. They're still in that like early flower period, trying to prevent any herms. We know how that can go. Too much light. Don't want to have the finger pointed at me for giving my plants too much light. So yeah, a lot of blues, and I think it's helping. Is that something? Well, because even though the plants are stretching like 2-3 inches a day, sometimes you're not like that's kind of unavoidable to a certain extent for at least part of the stretch.
It's gonna be stretch.
What I am seeing is like the tips of the plants, like where the bud sites are. I guess it is the internodal spacing that's like nice and tight, or at least pretty good. From bud site to bud site, we're not making like 3-inch jumps. It's still about like 1.5 inches. It's about perfect. So
I have a random tangential question.
Mm-hmm.
So, is the mechanism in the plant that causes the same one that causes? If you wanted to stretch a plant more, could you drop your light intensity significantly during that first flowering period and they shoot up looking for more? Or would it be the opposite?
I think less light would make it stretch more.
Yeah. Like a
So
seedling.
if you have like a really smallish plant and you're trying to get the most height out of your stretch, can you drop your intensity during early flower?
Yeah, I mean, there are certain breeders that might recommend that too.
I think you can, G3, like 100%. What you can do, okay, like have you ever heard of the shade response? So most plants like all compete, for sunlight. They all want to photosynthesize as much as they can. So like if a plant can sense that it's below the canopy in the shade, it does plants do have a mechanism to like go through a little bit more of a growth spurt just to try to give it that extra oomph, that extra little bit of height that it might need to like poke above the canopy. That, like, the shade response is initiated by adding red frequencies, interestingly enough, okay? Which is what we all like to do in flower. Like I know, like we all hear like, far reds are great for flower. Not at like early flower, particularly, because that's like you're initiating this, like if you give it too much red and not enough white, like the plant might think it's in the shade, okay? Think about like how a light, the full wavelengths of light work going through like green, okay, in the canopy. The first like color that gets taken out of the spectrum is red. After it like passes through the green, it's the same thing that happens in underwater. You ever notice how like that's why everything underwater is blue, basically? Or maybe it's the exact opposite. That's why I'm thinking. In any case, guys, the more red that you add to your plants, it initiates this shade response because the plant thinks it's underneath all the other plants. Blues do the exact opposite. It makes it think that it's like above the canopy in the sunshine, like nice and happy. What the full spectrum whites, just that's what we all give our plants, to photosynthesize. Really, by manipulating the reds and blues, at least from what I've read in, light literature, that's how we can manipulate the stretch. So
I never even
Makes
considered
sense.
manipulating the stretch before, honestly. I just always figured I'd let the genetics. Well, training.
I mean,
We control
just
everything else,
based-
though. Like, why not?
Just the way I grow in general kind of helps mitigate the stretch. So I guess I never really, I don't think about it too much. There's times where I wish I would have put maybe another layer of trellis up because the plants got taller than I thought. But, overall, I don't really have a problem with it.
cool. Got Kayla's saying I got philosophical for a minute. Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes that happens. We got Jimmy Hi-Hat says it's a great band name. Manipulate the stretch. I have to agree. I think I hear that more as like an album name, not a band name. The band name would be like Anaphylaxis or something like that. You know what I mean?
Or a great name for a Pilates class.
That's clever. I like that, Kayla. So, I don't know, guys. Like, I think I'm doing all these things. My plants, like I said, they're still stretching, but they're doing it the right way. They're going to end up like nice, the top of those buds are still going to have the internodal spacing that I'm looking for. And that's the key. So I wanted to wanted to bring up in our Discord, guys. I'm pretty sure we had a soil beaver sighting, and I wanted to talk about it. Our buddy down under, Nettie, had they got Australian soil beavers, man. I'm telling you, they're out there.
Savage.
Very mean. They're poisonous.
New meaning of the phrase "down under."
I like it. Down under the soil. All right, so I'm giving you a little sneak peek right now into the Cool Kids Club in our Discord here. Back on day 34. Nettie's plants look beautiful, right? Nice and healthy,
He's very talented.
right?
Really good grower.
Really, I think he's one of the best auto growers we know. I do. Not afraid of saying that. Props to you, Nettie. So yeah, looking great. 3 healthy girls, day 34. Not even, let's see, 2 weeks later, he posted in the chat. Need a little help, guys. One of my plants. What's going on here? And for those of you who can't see this, I mean, how would we describe this? Looks like
Okay, so the top
Like
of the
rot.
plant is like green and healthy, and about an inch above the soil, it's like this stem is seriously darkened. Looks like rot, really. And then the whole area around that has like started to callus off and become
ugh.
like woody-ish, and it just does not look healthy. Something's definitely amiss.
Yeah. Like the plant is literally turning black at the base of it. Okay. And it looks like, I mean, like if I didn't know better, I would think the soil beavers were at work here, right? Like this is truly, and like this might be exactly what I experienced, okay, when I talked about my issue. It may have gotten to the point on, in my garden where like it was so severe that the plant just like snapped in half and fell over. My plant was a little younger too, mind you. But yeah, like this looks like, you ever see the Never-Ending Story?
Of course.
This looks like the nothing. Like the plant is like being sucked into the nothing. Just turning black like this.
To me, if I had to put something on it, I would say it's some sort of like pathogen, or
That's what I
disease.
I say dirty clippers.
Yeah, dirty clippers, or you super cropped a branch and it broke, and some sort of bacteria got in there. I don't think it's something that just happened on its own. Like you plant a seed and this was going to happen no matter what. Like I don't think so. I think they would have to do something with human error.
Something
this
was
looks to
definitely
me
introduced.
Like something got on the inside and started rotting it from the inside out.
Mhm.
So, and that can happen through any wound in your plant, even if busting a leaf off can. But when you actually cut branches, especially like you're opening up a huge, super highway right into the center of that plant. So my personal SOP with that is aloe on the wound right after anything I cut.
Just
He
like
actually said he used aloe on his other one. He chopped. I think this was the one that he chopped.
unfortunately he had to chop this one. All right, so we'll continue with the saga
chopped
here.
One and then another one.
I did ask him
Also looked not great.
if he checked for soil beavers. Here's another picture.
Like
The plant looked a little unhappy at that point. We could tell like there was something going on at the top of the plant, right?
Lots of wilted leaves.
Here's a little video of what we were seeing. If I can bring that up. Oh my gosh. All right, hold on.
Yeah, definitely not happy plant. And the tops look good, but
Yeah, the buds look good. It would freak me the fuck out to see my plant being sucked into the nothing.
now were there more than one plant doing this, or is this just one plant?
Atreyu! What?
2 plants.
Is this just one plant, or
There's I think he showed one, but there was a second one, a sacred
yeah?
that was also infected,
Yeah.
and he actually showed that one, and that's how he figured out that he thought it was clippers.
Yeah, it's probably some gnarly scissors, that weren't cleaned appropriately.
So that is exactly what G3 said. In this is the Patreon only channel of our Discord, guys. So we're usually pretty quick to respond around here. If anything gets posted, like, people will get an answer right quick. So G3 was like, yeah, it's got to be your clippers. Something was introduced. He actually showed a picture of the roots of that plant, which look fine, right?
They look beautiful, white and healthy, no root rots.
Yeah, totally.
Discoloration.
Looks fine.
Beautiful.
Like, again, exactly kind of what I experienced. Like, there was no visible or smelly rottenness in the bottom of the roots. So this was just today. He says,
Yep, so this is the one that he didn't chalk down. I think this is the Sacred Watch.
he
And
says,
so you can see where a branch was clipped off there. All around it, it's like,
it's turning that same, like, it's like a whitish black. You know what I mean? Like, it's like ashy looking.
you know what it kind of reminds me of is it's called corn smut. And it's a fungus that gets into corn, and it's like a delicacy. How it's pronounced.
Corn smut.
But corn
Sounds like
smut,
a fucking
yeah.
corn.
It is, but it's a fungus that gets
Did
into
you see
corn.
Yeah,
corn
yeah,
smut
no, I
4?
know what
Grows
kind.
these huge, like, mutant things.
She's so right, dude. They eat that stuff in Mexico. That's where I saw it.
It's a delicacy.
It's called corn smut,
Corn
which
smut.
like, yeah, I mean, truly sounds like one of the most disgusting porno flicks you've ever seen, where they use corn cobs as phallic objects. Like,
Yeah, but
Hey.
You ever seen
kernels have
Corn
that
Smut
same type
4?
of coloration to them, so that's
No,
what
yeah.
makes me think it's probably a fungus.
a fungus. Yeah, you're right. It's that, like, bluish, whitish
Eat it.
color. Which is actually, it's funny, man, because, like, the corn smut that I tasted it was delicious. And
Really?
it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
What does it
it's
taste
kind
like?
of like a mushroom that grows in a corn kernel.
Interesting.
Think of it like that, and it's this weird, like, fungus. But when they get it, they, like, harvest all those plants and they put them in, like, the we're gonna sell this for more money pile. Like,
Yep.
Fucking
it's
wild.
funny how that works, man. So I don't know, Nettie. Maybe the thought here is that you should have let this shit finish out and try
Get
the
some corn
bud.
smut.
Maybe it would have been super dank. Get that corn smut cannabis.
Yeah, that's
Those would
the
be some
first. I've
fun
never heard of
drugs.
that.
Yeah, dude, G3, you're right. Spot on. Corn smut. Corn smut 4 was far, far raunchier, man.
Yeah, man, it was fucking wild.
Oh, so that was little problem solving in the Discord. It turns out it was not a soil beaver.
A wee bit smutty.
It was just Nettie using some dirty ass scissors to cut his plant with.
Dirty Aussie bastard.
But yeah, we have fun. It's like, honestly, our Discord such a good time. And G3 had a great idea. She thought you guys would appreciate that little behind the scenes kind of show there. So I thought it was a
Good
great
lesson.
learning experience too. What
Make
can
sure
we
you
all?
clean your clippers?
That was my question. What can we all take away from that?
It is always a great idea to keep a small spray bottle of ISO in isopropyl alcohol in your grow room. You can use it on so many things. Use it on your clippers right before you use them. Spray, spray. There you go. Clean. And you don't have to worry about losing beautiful plants.
A good flame too will work. Heat that shit right up.
Yeah, like like your dab torch.
Yeah. That's gonna kill anything that's on there. Just wipe it off afterwards like a paper towel after it cools down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember to
Don't
bring
leave
it
all the
back.
carbon and stuff on
Yeah.
Back downstairs. You're gonna need it when you go to take a dab later. I'll be like, fuck, it's in the garden. I used it to sterilize my shears.
Or get an extra one.
Yeah.
Sterilization torch.
Yeah.
Could do that.
Just make sure you put it back in the garage after so you can continue those, illegal circumcisions.
Got to cauterize that wound there, son.
Captain circumcisions, come on in.
Good God. An amateur moil? Is that such a thing?
I'm sure it
I don't know why I
is,
took it there.
unfortunately.
I'm not licensed, but I know how to do it. I promise. Be relatively painless.
I've been reading up on this for weeks.
You won't lose too much size. I guarantee it. Fuck, how did we start on this? Jesus
I don't
Christ.
know. I'm a fucking twisted individual.
What do you guys got going on garden-wise? What's up?
Same shit, different day. Unfortunately, though, I think I'm gonna lose pretty much most of my greenhouse to bud rot.
What?
I'll say it ain't so.
And that's with all the precautions I took. It's just been too rainy and we had 3 days of nothing but fog, which is doesn't get much more humid than fog, So
Yeah, just a cloud.
yeah, it was a tough year. Too much rain, too much fucking rain. So
That sucks, man. I mean, if you just what if you took them down just early? Are they just
it's just not
think
mature.
they wouldn't be worth smoking yet?
No, it's just not mature. I mean, you're still mostly white pistils.
Gotcha.
Just
Little baby
Yeah.
calyxes.
yeah,
not the big
and
fat
and
ones.
pretty much every kohler I've looked at has some sign of bud rot somewhere. So it's just, I just said fuck it. I haven't even been out there in over a week. I just gave up on it. So
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, that
yeah.
sucks.
It's a roll of the dice every year up here in Massachusetts. Especially right on the water. It's already humid as it is. Without any extra factors 2-3 days of straight fog and rain and no sunshine. Is what it is.
It sucks. I'm sorry to hear, man. Got to be heartbroken.
I am, I it's one of those things though that never kind of surprises me. I'm just what the fuck, what would you expect? And think about it, that's with all the precautions I've taken with extra ventilation and going off and blowing the plants off in the morning with a fucking leaf blower.
So much time and energy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, so honestly, man, and I'm being real. I'm trying to think of an East Coast outdoor grower that has successfully harvested an outdoor plant.
every year
I'm struggling.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, if you're a little bit farther inland, not so close to the ocean, you might have a little bit more success. But when you can literally, be at the ocean in less than a minute from where you're growing, it's just
Gotcha.
It's just too much.
Yeah, maybe in the hills around us, G3, we got some higher elevations, not close to the ocean. Maybe.
We still get
I've always wanted to try an outdoor. Like honestly, I think around us, the idea like you could plant an auto in June and let it go June, July, August. Maybe even plant it in May, like mid-May. And let it finish, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they definitely will
Started
take
in
longer to
September.
finish when growing outside because they're not getting the kind of light that we're pounding them with grow lights. The amount of time. So yeah, I mean, oh my god, dog.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it look it is what it is. It just kind of sucks, you know.
Yeah. I mean, really, man, like East Coast growing is an indoor game.
Yeah, you know. But other people might not even say anything about it, you know? Just like, oh, yeah, everything went great. It was fucking peaches and roses. I'm just going to keep it real. It sucked. I don't think I'll even get a gram out of it. So, yep.
Well, onwards and upwards, dude. Really, don't let it
No, I'll be back at it next year.
really back outdoors trying again.
Yeah, every year. I mean, look, it doesn't really cost a whole lot of money. It's the disposable greenhouse that fucking never lasts more than a year. And then, like, the cost of electricity to run the fans and stuff, which isn't really ridiculous. So, it's worth the gamble, you know? Plus, I enjoy it.
Oh yeah, you're like a degenerate gambler scratching off lotto tickets at a gas station right now.
Yeah. See if we can get it finished.
One more week.
It'll be this. This is the year. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Last year was fucking awesome. The year before sucked. The year before that,
Yeah.
awesome. So it's like almost like every other year, you know. So I'm hoping next year will be good. Whatever.
You're really just a victim to
so hard.
the
You're
weather.
growing with it. I say it all the time. You are growing with another party. Like you have no control over the weather. You have no control over how much light they get. You're handing over half the control of your grow to Mother Nature, and you have to trust that she's going to be good to you. And sometimes she is.
She's a hoa.
She's not.
She's a filthy hoa.
It's a fickle one, sure. Well,
I have
yeah. What about you?
I've got my my smaller breeder tent, I guess. Up and coming breeders.
Yeah,
We want them to get gigantic, huge name breeders. Yeah.
How are they looking?
They're all doing great. Oh my god, they're fabulous.
Any that are bigger than the others so far?
Yeah, so both Andy, who is my Goondocks from Goondine Genetics, and my Sacred Watch from Outcast, they're both taller girls. Got like nice node spacing, big arms. They're really hungry girls. Gosh, I cannot keep up with them. Like Monster said with the Sacred Watch, I cannot keep up with how much food she wants. Just more.
Yeah, they like light and they like food. I never actually ended up finding a point where it was too much.
Yeah, she just wants more. And then I've got Strawberry Wedding from Big Green Guy, and she's like a serving platter, just naturally. She's just like huge and flat, all on her own. It's awesome. Didn't have to do anything with her. And then I have Purple Pentarania. Okay. She's in the autopot system. She's really she's kind of short and really chunky. So I have my bud rot PTSD is on high alert.
Yeah, keep the airflow.
Yeah, and then I just popped. My God, I can never remember the name of this. Dazed whatever it is.
Dazed Sabrana?
Yes, thank you. I can never remember Sabrana. I always want to say Cerveza. It's not that. So
fucking luck.
The stripy frog. I just popped and she came out of the soil yesterday, so she's good. Cool. And then Mango Smile. But as of say.
All right. You got
That's my
a
harassment.
lot of autos. Shit.
We got going on.
Yeah, that's kind of my jam.
It's kind of
That's like her thing.
That's
Yeah.
kind of my thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I like photos for what they are, but during this time of year, I really want to shut it down to one tent during the winter because it's so hard to keep everything warm enough. It's just a pain in the ass. So I reduce it.
Well, you're kind of like making me, as much as I'm having a blast doing my photos, watching. I've been growing these plants for 10 weeks now, to waiting to see the stretch. Like, that's the thing with autos. If I had a tent full of autos, they'd already be almost done. You know what I mean?
You'd be at the finish line. You'd be like, look at these gorgeous flowers right now.
You're kind of making me think I should do some autos in the big auto pots, like the XXLs next run. We'll see what. Maybe I'll do that'd be cool.
I will always run autos. Always.
Yeah.
I may run photo periods in addition sometimes, but I will always be running autos. They're easy. They bring so much joy. They fit into your life, no problem. Especially when you have everything automated. Gosh, set it and forget it.
Auto flowers and auto pots. Not an easier way to do it. I mean, truly, like, there's no, waiting for them to show sex. There's no waiting. There's no nothing. You don't have to transplant them. You get those fem autos. You just put them in their final pot in the auto pots. You don't turn them on right away. Let them grow for 3 weeks. Then you turn the valve and boom. Watch the magic.
I should mention, sorry, GNTM just reminded me. So, Stripey Frog, the Days Sabrana, has a grow along going on Alabrije's Discord. Vernon the Mitten is running it. And I think you can plant all the way up until the end of this month.
Oh, yeah?
Correct. But if you're interested in it, contact him or me or come on Alabrije's Discord and look. It's going to be fun.
For sure. Definitely going to be fun. Man, I wish I could. If I didn't, that's like in my next, like, when I pop autos after this round, like, I'm definitely doing that one. So can't wait to see what you guys do with it. Now, I'm curious. I see in the chat, what is a poor man's auto pots? That. What do we mean by that? That makes sense. Those automatic watering bases from AC Infinity.
Yeah, the wicking ones.
I got you. So, like, honestly, dude, I was even gonna, like, I'm maybe even a little poorer than that. Before I had auto pots, I was still butt chugging, using the butt chugging method with my plants. I just have, like, saucers. They're big, like, plant saucers, plastic trays that are, I don't know, 15 inches in diameter, maybe like 2.5, 3 inches deep.
I use them to catch runoff.
Yeah. I just keep my, fabric pots in that and just fill up the tray with water and let it suck it up, Works great. Of course, you can't, like, you can only fill up that much of the tray. It's not going to, like, provide more water. Okay. But what you can do is get a 2-liter soda bottle, fill that with water, just put that upside down. Like, put your thumb over it, turn it upside down, and, like, just try to stand it up somehow, like in the tray. You know what I mean?
Secure it in a way that it's not going to flip over and, like,
yes,
get water all over the bottom of your tent.
Yes,
Then you're going to be like, God damn it.
Some sort of duct tape contraption. I'm picturing it in my head. Like maybe you got some green garden tie, you can incorporate that. You got your oh shit tape over here, you can use that. Maybe you have some, what do they call it? Liquid cement laying around. You were huffing glue earlier or in the garden. You got that right next
That's
to you.
definitely not going to hold, but yeah. Whatever works.
But you know what I mean? Like use a 2-liter soda bottle as like a reservoir. Just stand it up in the tray, and as the water level gets lower, it will like level out from the bottle. So you can use that. Got a little extra if you go away.
That works great, like if you're going away, but it's not something you want to do permanently, because that's going to keep the water level at the same level for too long, and you'll end up getting, root rot issues.
True. The magic of the auto pot system is that it gets dry and then it releases more.
Mm-hmm.
Dry
Right.
and then it releases more. It's
It's
not
that
always
is
a constant.
mini controlled ebb and flow.
Exactly. People
System.
overlook that, and they kind of think that it's just a basic like flood system, but it's not. It doesn't stay at the same level all the time. Floods the tray, plant drinks, goes dry, floods again with fresh water.
Cool. Well, that's dude. Listen, auto pots are great, and
Use
I
purchase you can.
swear by them. Yep, that's right. But if you haven't saved up that money yet, I mean, you can still get all the benefits from butt chugging. You're just gonna have to be a little more creative about it. That's all.
Yeah. Or if you live in California, just go to the hydro stop and shop and steal them.
Yeah. Just run right. I thought you were gonna say something completely different, man. I thought you were gonna say like. I
could take it. I could take it in a million different directions. I'm a wild card.
But yeah. Man, you can do it any number of ways. That's all I'm saying. But eventually, get to the point where you have enough money in your pocket to go buy that autopot system. Your plants will thank you. Yeah, guys. You want to just say we'll see you next week at this point?
Yeah, I think it was a good show. We got a lot of
Yeah.
info out there for the people. Had a few laughs.
That's all we can do, man.
Yeah,
for
man.
sure. That's all we can do. I always have a great time hanging and chatting with you guys. It's a
I look
highlight
forward
of
to it
my
every
week,
week.
man. For sure. Cool. Well, thank you guys, and thank you everyone in the chat, and thank you to all of our Patreons who help us keep the lights on. And if you are an aspiring Patreon, please go check it out. Help us. We love it. Then you get access to the Cool Kids Club on the Discord. Man, there's all these perks that come with it. So,
Feet pics.
yes, feet pics, liquid cement parties, and corn smut.
Corn smut.
Lots and lots of
Corn
corn smut.
Oh my god.
You guys read my minds. We've been talking together too long, I know. Love you guys. Till next week. Don't get caught.